Hey everyone, Connie from the Painted Photographer. This week I'm heading off to Sonnets and I was gone last weekend. I have packed and unpacked my suitcase more in this last month than I ever have in my life. So it is time to pack a suitcase again, time to go to Sonnets Vintage Soul Retreat. If you're going to be there, I can't wait to see you. And I'm trying to get this video out just so I don't have a lapse with a week without a video, because I'm trying really hard to have one video a week. So I have Thrift, and I know some of you like my thrifted stuff, and we might do a couple little easy things after, depending on how much time I have today. So I'm going to start out with some of the thrifted items, and this ornament, I don't know, was screaming my name. It's so cool. And I can just see this being painted up and have one of the new IOD transfers or inlays on here. I don't remember what that inlay is called, but it has those pinkish, reddish flowers. I think it would be so beautiful. So I had to grab this. It was 68 cents for this amazing ornament. I don't know where it'll go. I mean, it looks like it's perfect for a porch or even like hanging, if you have a big living room, even hanging by your fireplace in the living room. It could be really good. And I think with the inlay on there, it's even going to be better. So 68 cents, it's worth a shot. I got this basket also at the thrift store, and it's very, very large. You can see it's very large. And it was 98 cents. It is solid basket. I love baskets like this that are solid, that you can put things in and not have to worry about it bending over and being an old toppled over mess. So I picked this up for 68 cents. When I got it home, I found this basket. So I now have two very large baskets, which they would be perfect to just be sitting in your living room and maybe have a blanket spilling out of it, or on your patio with a mum in either one of these. Oh, and I just think they look really good stacked up. Look at the textures in that. They were almost like made for each other. They're like the same type of basket weave to them. So I am doing nothing with these. I don't know if I'm going to ship them yet because they're really big. I'd have to have a big box. Even though they'd be nice and light, I'd still have to find a big box for them, but stay tuned. I might have them listed. The neighbor, he came over and he brings me boxes so that I can ship items in them, and he brought me this rolling pin. Look at those yellow vintage handles. Are those not the best? I have no idea where he got it from, but I love it. I just want to give this a Sweet Pickins wax so that it's nice and, what do you call that? Seasoned. So it's nice and seasoned in, and then give those handles and also another wax to them to keep that yellow look. The sun is on there right now. Where's the sun? There it is. So they're kind of like a mustardy yellow. This will be listed on my website. Stopped at my girlfriend's yesterday, and she thrifts for me when she sees something that I might like. And also if she buys something and then she decides, maybe I don't want it, she'll ask me if I want it. So this was one of her finds. This is an ironstone pitcher. It does not have a stamp on the bottom, but it is definitely heavy and it's solid white. I think I might keep this for a while, so stay tuned in the future. I might decide that it's something I don't want. She decided she was going to keep it, and then she already has one. So she decided, why do I need two? And so she sold this one to me. It was $3. Jars. I found a number of jars. 4 to be exact. These two right here are the same, and they have they were 58 cents and 68 cents. I don't know why. because they're the exact same jar. But these have the pattern on the sides. They look really good with candy in them, or flour or sugar sitting on your counter. And they are nice and clean and sturdy and heavy. They will be listed on my website. Then I have these 2 jars that also have that bale clasp on it. This one's a little bit older. It's got that pointy clasp versus this rectangle clasp here. Putting an IOD Christmas transfer on there, I'm gonna do that with this one at the end of this video. And then we might even find a small little one to put on here. And I sell these at the craft store that I'm in, and I put the Christmas decal on them, and people buy them like crazy. You put a ribbon around the top, they sell very, very well. Also, when I was at the thrift store yesterday, I found another basket. This one is oval. It does have the wood bottom. It has leather handles. It is larger in shape. It's got this fun weave right here, and it was $2.98. This one was a little bit more pricey, but I thought this one would go really good in the bathroom. You could roll up a couple towels and put it in your bathroom. And that is like really, really good texture, because texture is what you need to make it cozy, comfort. This basket was in really, really good shape. I found this tin at the thrift store. It was 48 cents. It's just a coppery type of looking tin. IOD houses on here, maybe. I'm kind of addicted to those houses. And I just think that it would be really, really pretty. Put a coat of white paint on here and then kind of distress it off so that you see some of this coppery color coming through. It's not copper. It's just painted like copper. And see some of that coppery color coming through there, and then put those transfers on it. Oh yeah. So maybe we'll do this one really quick. Here's a little flower pot. It's this one my girlfriend also picked up for me. It was 47 cents. This one has some good rust patina on it. It is so good. I absolutely love this patina. And I can also see a transfer being put on here. And all you would have to do when you have a rusty surface like this is give it a coat of Big Top, and then you can put your transfer right on top of that rusty, crusty finish, and it'll make it look really good. We might do kind of like a whitewash on here and then add a transfer. I think it would just add some little bit of a warmth and charm to this piece. Speaking of rusty crusty, she also had these 2 tins. There is one inside the other, and they have rusty crusty tops to them. And you can tell that they've been painted a long time ago. This is cardboard. You can see that that is the cardboard. But the tops are tin. And they look really, really good. Stacked up. Can you just see some Royce's decoupage paper on here? Or maybe even paint them and put the IOD transfers on them. IOD has me, every time I see a tin, crate, or something like that, I just want to put a transfer on it, because they've added transfers to those tins. They've added transfers to the wood crate boxes, and they just look so good. And so I see these and I'm like, oh yeah, we can put houses on them. I want to put houses on everything. She had this cutting board. I'm not sure what its intent was, but she said it did have a image in here, and it was painted dark blue. She sanded it down right down to the bare wood. She does so good at sanding things down. Like, she is so particular and so meticulous that when she decides that, like this one, she decided she didn't want to use it, and if she had it all prepped for me, I'm like, yeah, of course. She had paid $3 for this one, so I grabbed it at $3. The tins were also $3. $3 for the set of them. Now I went to a garage sale probably a month or so ago, and I got some McCoy pottery at a garage sale. Yes, I found McCoy pottery. I should probably put that in here. Hang on 1 minute. All right, I went and grabbed it out of the house. So I even left the price tag on it so I would remember what I paid for it. But this is McCoy pottery, and it was $10. So it is this limey green color and has these fun little leaves on the side, and it does have a chip. I had 3 people at the garage sale tell me, you know that has a chip. I'm like, yes, I know, but I didn't care. I have not ever found a McCoy pottery piece, ever. And so when I stumbled upon that, I was like, oh my gosh. So $10 is what I paid for this McCoy pottery vase, and I absolutely love it. And then this bowl. This is a McCoy pottery bowl, and this was also $10, but it's in the aqua color that I love so much. It does have a crack in it. I'm perfectly fine with it. I'm not going to use it, but look at that stoneware bowl. It is gorgeous. I have both of these are in my living room in a little white cabinet that I have, and I absolutely love them in there. So while at that garage sale, when I was all just like giddy over McCoy pottery, I did find these little crocks, and I do like these little crocks. I paid $3 for each of these, and this one is kind of a yellowy tan, and then this one is the buttery brown color. There is no marking on the bottom, but they do have the bail, and they do both seal very, very well. So these you can either put a IOD transfer on here, or you can leave them as is. I will list both of these on my website because I have enough. Yes, I have a number of these, but I just couldn't pass these up. These little guys were just speaking to me. Speaking of having enough, I found this little crock, and it's just a small little one. It's only like 3 inches tall, nothing on the bottom, nothing on the side, perfectly good. This one is mine. I'm keeping this. I know. I think I paid 98 cents for this. I took the sticker off already. Then this picture, I know these pictures, this pattern is very popular, but it doesn't sell very well for me, and it's called the ballerina. This one is very worn. I do have this exact same picture in my kitchen, and my wooden spoons go in there on the counter. And I thought we could paint this and put a mold on it. Maybe. We're gonna try it. So that'll be in a later video. It's gonna be before, like when I come home from Sonnets, we're gonna put a mold on this picture. I already had it sitting out waiting for that process. A couple of tins. Remember I said every tin that I see, every wood tote that I see reminds me of the IOD Christmas release. If you have not even looked at that IOD Christmas transfers, you need to, because there are such amazing transfers in there. They really blew it out of the water this year with their transfers, and I can't get enough of them. I even ordered more. They're coming on Friday. I'm not even going to be here, but I ordered more because I can't let go of them, not yet. And if I have some left over for next year, oh well. And so this tin is a rectangle tin. It kind of is like a recipe box. So that was really fun. I can see a house on here as well. And then this one was a small little circular one. These are very, very short, 28 cents and 28 cents for these. So what I do is I spray paint these up so that I cover up all of these really, really bold colors. And then I go ahead in with my DIY paint and paint them up and bring out some of the transfers and put the transfers on here. So these are a really fun project. If you have tins at your thrift stores, go grab them. 28 cents, you can't go wrong. So I grabbed this from my girlfriend a couple times ago when I seen her, and it has a little cup and it has a little smasher thing. So this, like, I think that you grind like orange peels or something like that, but I thought it was just like a really cool piece. You can use this as, you know, you can flip it upside down and use this and then put a piece of wire on the top and then put a mold on the top of that. It would be really cute. Or you can just paint it up like this. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it yet, but it has really good bones. And that is very good wood. It's a very solid bowl and a very solid spindle. I found this rolling pin. It was 99 cents. It's just a very, very thin rolling pin. And I thought it would be fun, painted up and stuck in with your wooden spoons, or even just dark and decrepit. And it does say made in France on the end there. So made in France. So maybe we will just dark and decrepit this, or maybe some Sweet Pickens oil wax would be really fun on there, just to enhance that wood green, and then stick it in the wooden spoons. This tin, again, IOD has influenced me, and maybe they've influenced you too. And if they haven't, hopefully I have. But this tin was really big in size, and it has these fun handles. I do like the rusty crusty that's on the top of that lid, but I don't think I want to match that yellow color with what I put down here. Again, I don't really like the teddy bears, and there's yuck on there. That's the gift of thrifting, is you have to clean things. So this was definitely like, it's grody, and there's tape stuck all over it. So this needs a good clean before that it gets done. But I think even those, the stamp of the toy soldiers on here, it's got me. It's got me. And I just, everything I see, all I see is the Christmas release. And maybe I'll be over it by the time Christmas gets here, but right now I'm not over it. $1.69 was what this tin was. $1.69, and it is huge. The last item is kind of big. I got this yesterday when I just stopped at the thrift store, and it is just really good. A pedestal table. It's a pedestal coffee table, side table, but look at that leg. It is so good. It's painted black. This top has a little texture to it. That kind of steered me wrong. Like, do I really want to deal with that textured top? It was $12.99. And I think if I paint it in milk paint, it's going to be so good. Like, I'm going to absolutely love it. That's my thrift haul. Thanks for hanging out with me and seeing all the items that I thrifted in the last couple of weeks. And some of them are really good, and they're going to be really good do-it-over projects. So I did find some time to do a couple of projects here in this video. So I have a couple of items that I transformed with the IOD Christmas release, and I absolutely love them. I will see you at the end. For the first item, we're going to take the IOD transfer in Winter Botanical, and I absolutely love that poinsettia. It has had my heart since the first time I seen it. And these jars, I cleaned them all up, got them all nice and clean and sparkly, and dried them out in the sunshine, and then added the transfer to both of the jars. This poinsettia is so, so, so pretty. And I just added it to the jar. If you're new to transfers, it comes with a stick, a little plastic stick, and you just rub the transfer until it comes off. Putting them on glass is the easiest thing to do. They just come right off of that transfer sheet onto the glass, and they make a beautiful, beautiful statement. And these, all I could vision was like putting hot chocolate in one and maybe some mini marshmallows in the other. So in this tiny little one, I found this branch and it had some red berries on it, perfect for Christmas or fall time. And so I just added that on with the transfer stick, and then I added a little birdie to the stem. So let me know in the comments if you have done transfers on jars and how much you like them. I also took this little copper tote and I added some DIY white swan paint to it. It did take a number of coats, so I believe I put like 2.5 coats onto here to cover up that copper. And then after it was completely dried, I went in with a baby wipe and distressed my edges off, giving it a nice natural distress. DIY paint comes off with water, so it works really, really well for distressing. Here's these houses I absolutely love in the Partridge Lane transfer. I had to put them on in a specific order because I wanted some to be behind the others and in front. Make sure I did seal this tin with Big Top. Make sure that you let the Big Top or the paint dry for a long time. As long as you can is better. I was rushing this because of the time constraint I was in, and I did have a little trouble with the transfer not coming off as well as it should. I had to be very, very careful to make sure that I got the entire transfer to transfer off and not pull the paint back. So I ended up putting all 4 of these little houses on. This is all I had left from my first transfer pack, and believe me, I plan to have another transfer pack and use those little houses again because I absolutely love them and I think they look so cute. Stop this foolish business. Come home and spend Christmas with me. Spend Christmas with me. I came in with the DIY clear wax and just coated the transfers. You do need to cover the transfers either with a clear gloss or a wax, a clear wax. And then I came in with the DIY dust. This is the regular dust and it has a brownish feel to it. It's kind of like dark wax or maybe the dark and decrepit. And I just went over and brushed off some of that and just left kind of an aged look to it. And then I'm coming in with the warm dust. This is a new one and it actually has like a rusty feel to it. So I went and I just kind of stippled this warm dust on here, making it like appear like it had a rusty finish to it. And I came in and did the whole thing of how I wanted it. And then I wiped a little bit back with a paper towel. The dust will stick right into that clear wax. So you have to use wax in order to use dust because it has to stick onto something. And then you let it dry, and then you can come back and buff off any of the areas and make them, a little bit less dark, if you would. So I went ahead and did my edges and my back side in this same process. Now, when I was at my girlfriend's house, she had showed me some just scrap boards that she had done, and I thought, hey, that's a really good project to show on a YouTube video for being a really fast, easy craft to do. So I took my DIY white swan paint and a little weathered wood, and I painted all of these scrap boards in the white, and I just wanted a little bit of age to them. I did not want them bright white, so that is why I added the weathered wood. And that just gives them a little darkness, very, very small amount. It just gives the white a little darkness and not quite so stark. We're going to come in now with the Christmas Wishes stamp. This stamp is amazing. I absolutely love this stamp, along with the sugar plum and the Christmas post. And these stamps this year are fantastic. There's so many uses for them. I'm going to layer this one, so it's going to be some masking that we're going to do. But for the few that I have here, we're going to use both Christmas Wishes and Sugar Plum Fairy and Christmas Post. I am using a thin mount. This is just a piece of my thin mount, and I'm going to pick the stamp up. I like to use the thin mount, and this is the IOD black ink. I like to use the thin mount because I can make sure that I'm straight on this straight board. I have the grid lines that will line me up on the top and the side to make sure that I'm not crooked, and the stamp goes on really, really straight. Then you want to make sure that you're keeping one hand on the stamp at all times and pressing with the other one to get the crispest image that you want. And after you're all done with that, you pick it up and you have this amazing little stamp. We're going to do this deer here as well. And we're going to use the black ink and ink the rest of them.
Making our Christmas memories. I've been working so much lately, I can barely find the time to sleep. Yeah, I spend my time running around, keeping people pleased. But this is my favorite holiday. It's a chance to start over new. 'Cause I missed you, so I'm letting go of everything but you. These are the good times with you. Baby, this year it's just gonna be you and me. Hang by the fire and chill. Isn't this how it's supposed to be? Making our Christmas memories. Oh, and I've been longing to hold you close. Forget about everything should come back home to me. And when we wake up in the morning, I'm gonna play those carols that you love. We'll be singing all the melodies until the sun comes up. These are the good times with you. Baby, this year it's just gonna be you and me. Hang by the fire and chill. Isn't this how it's supposed to be? Making our Christmas memories. Oh, and I've been longing to hold you close. Forget about everyone else. Isn't this how it's supposed to be? Making our Christmas memories. Oh, oh. La, da, 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 oh, oh, oh. La, da, da, da. Making our Christmas memories. Yes.
Now, I'm going to use the crackle stamp. Right now, there is one called Vintage Textures that has this crackle stamp in it, along with 3 other textures. And we're just going to add some crackle around the outside of these stamped images, just giving them a little bit more of a layer and some texture to them. So you can use any of the distressed images that you have, the stamps that you have, and add the finishing touches onto the DIY paint. And now we're going to sand the edges, and I want to see some of that wood grain on the outside of these. I want to see that dark stain, and so I'm just sanding off and giving it a little bit of an age look. I do like the red stamp on here, the Christmas Joy, so I decided to go ahead and watercolor the rest of the snowman. So I'm using the Carnival Red and Eden for the green, and I'm using it with lots and lots of water, and they're going to be like a watercolor. So you're still going to see that stamped image from through the paint because the paint is very, very thin, and it just does a really, really beautiful job of watercoloring when you have it thin enough. And we're going to paint the rest of this snowman and give him a little bit of color. So you can either leave them with just the stamped image, or you can go ahead and watercolor them.
Don't even care what we do if I spend it with you. Just you and nobody else. It's so good to see you again, to see you again. Baby, this year it's just gonna be you and me. Hang by the fire chill. Isn't this how it's supposed to be? Making our Christmas memories. Oh, yeah. I've been longing to hold you close. Forget about everyone else. Isn't this how it's supposed to be? Making our Christmas memories.
After everything has thoroughly dried, we're going to go in with Big Top. Big Top is a clear sealer from DIY. It's my absolute favorite sealer. And I just go over each of the scrap wood, the shelf sitters, and then I come back in with my sanding block. You want to sand the Big Top off of the natural wood grain because otherwise whatever you put on will not absorb into the wood. So I take my finger sander and I go along that edge. Now I'm going to use Dark and Decrepit, and I put Dark and Decrepit on the sides and then also on the front, and I can take a baby wipe and wipe off what's on the paint because there is a Big Top layer on there. If there wasn't a Big Top layer on there, it would absorb right into the paint. But all it's absorbing into is that wood grain that we use the sander to break back open again from the Big Top. So I really like the edges dark, like stained wood. And so we're filling that in with Dark and Decrepit and using a couple layers if you wanted a little bit on the darker side. And then I went ahead and finished the back side of the boards with the dark and decrepit also. For this postcard, I wanted an aged look to it. So I have some dark and decrepit that is watered down that I just keep in a covered container when I want to use watered down dark and decrepit. And I went ahead and I put it on top of this shelf sitter, this postage stamp and or postcard. And I went and took the baby wipe and it got too much of it. It pulled too much of it off. So I tried a different method and going on just a little bit heavier with the watered down dark and decrepit. This postcard does have DIY a big top on it. If I did not have big top, this would be sucking right into the paint and look really kind of ugly. So we can manipulate it because of that clear layer. So now I just went in with a plain piece of typing paper or printer paper and just pulled off the paint kind of in a random motion. Like this would be really aged, it had been sitting around a while, and it really did get a good finish to it. Now I'm going to take a bottle cap and go in with the dark and decrepit and make like coffee rings or hot cocoa rings, if you will, and just add some of those to it and let that dry and give this postcard some age. To finish them off, I went in with the black velvet. This, I love, love, love the look of the dark sides. My girlfriend, hers are, she's very, very particular, and her signs are so amazing. I absolutely love them. And she always has her sides really dark. And so I decided that I would go in with the black velvet and DIY paint, and I painted the backside too. I do like a finished backside. Even if it's a shelf sitter, I still would like the customer to get a completely finished project. And after this was thoroughly dried, I came in and put the dark and decrepit back over top of the dark paint, the black paint, because using dark and decrepit over top of the black paint just made it even blacker. Let me know in the comments if you're going to be trying to make some of these shelf sitters with the IOD stamps. And if you have not gotten yours yet, you can find them at thepaintedphotographer.com and I'll ship them right to your front door. That was a fast video, everyone. Oh man, I really rushed through those projects, but I wanted them really simple and easy, something that anyone can do, and I think that they turned out really, really well. And I really like them. They're so super, super cute. So I hope that you find this video inspiring, and I hope that you will try some of these as well. This, of course, is my favorite. I told you I got something with the little houses, and this little copper tote turned out really super cute. And this is my jar from last year. So these jars from last year, I painted white and then I put the transfer on them, and they sold like crazy. So you can either paint them white or you can leave them clear like I did in this video and make them a little bit faster. But this one is so stinking cute. It did not sell, but let me get it in the right light. I think my arm is blocking it. Let's try this. I think that it did not sell just because I put it out at the end of the season, but this was last year's transfer, and I'm sure it will have no problem just finding a new home. So let me know in the comments which was your favorite project. And I'll be at Sonnet's retreat. I do not have time to list the items. I will probably list this and the jars and the crocks when I get home. I can't ship anyway, so if you order from tomorrow until Sunday, I will not be home to ship. So my shipping is going to be delayed. So why put my thrifted items out there when I can't ship them anyway? I'm gonna rush, and I don't wanna rush because I'm sure I'll make a mistake. So I am going to put them out when I get home, and I'll have another video for you, hopefully when I get home, maybe of what happened while I was gone. Do you want to come with me to the Vintage Soul Creative Retreat? I'm sure you do. So I'll try and film and bring you along with me, and we'll have that video next week. Thanks for watching. If you need any products, you can head on over to thepaintedphotographer.com. I have all the transfers coming back in. I have all the transfers that have been out of stock for a while. They are filling up the shelves again. I just placed my order. They just restocked. I will put their inventory in because I won't be here anyway, and so I can't ship them, and by the time I get home, they should be sitting on my front porch waiting for me to send them to you. Thanks for watching, and as always, until next time, happy painting.
So wild, just with that sweet smiling, there's nobody else for me. My heart starts racing every time I'm looking at her. She's my country girl. I couldn't tell you